One of my best talks was on the subject of fear. I found it easy. Why did I find it so easy? Because I'd spent a lifetime, like all of us, living in it. In the build-up to this talk, I asked people I met and knew about fear. What frightened them and what fears did they have? What surprised me is that most people had no idea that they were living in fear. Fear seems extreme to most. It seems obvious that you would know when you are fearful. That's why it goes so unnoticed. A fear of heights, losing all your money, losing your job, losing a loved one, losing a house, becoming ill. These are big ones that everyone can relate to. A collective agreement on fear. These are okay to fear. This is normal. What I fear is the same as everybody else, but manifests uniquely for me. Just perfectly placed in my way to show me what I really fear and who I truly am. To feel safe, secure and comfortable, you would think would alleviate all fear. Not true. This can lead to even greater fear as you now have more to lose. How many plot lines in films and books rely on this pivotal moment when the hero loses everything? Everything has been taken from them. Now they're dangerous. Nothing to lose, therefore no more fear. Again, extreme. What I think this points to is the archetype of being nothing. No thing. Just pure presence, consciousness. That's why we relate to this so much. We can feel the freedom it could bring. In truth, we never have anything to lose. We only believe we do. This statement will be met with such rejection from your mind and ego. I wouldn't be surprised if the arguments have already started in your mind now. Mine has. Fear can creep into anything. Here's a subtle one. To say the words sorry. We are taught from a very young age to apologise if we have harmed, upset or done something wrong. This seems like a good thing to do, and it is. The thing itself is never the problem. It's the energy underneath. I have used these words so many times. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. During this talk on fear, I referenced a book. I never finished this book, but there was one thing I pulled from it that was truly worth exploring. The book was called A Conversation with God. If I'm honest, I thought I was beyond this book. I'd heard of it for years, and everyone who mentioned it didn't really have their shit together, so I assumed it wasn't much help. I did finally take a look, and within it, all I can really remember was the truth that there is only ever love or fear. Everything we do either comes from love or fear. Such a simple filter. To ask in every moment, is this out of love or fear, is beautiful. A practice we can all do. So the word sorry may seem like a beautiful thing to say to someone, but is it out of love or fear? Do I agree with someone out of love or fear? Do I have friends out of love or fear? Do I stay in a relationship out of love or fear? Do I work out of love or fear? I remember vividly telling a girlfriend that I loved her and asked her if she wanted to move in together. She cried at these words. She cried at these words because it was a long time coming. And in the moment she said yes, I knew I'd asked out of fear. We were young and had been in a long time on and off relationship for many years. I did love her, but something in me knew I wasn't meant to stay in this relationship. But I kept on trying because I feared a life without her. So these beautiful words of I love you were out of fear. If I'd run it through the filter of love, I would have let her go. I caused her more pain because of my own fear. This is how we learn. Was this a one and done? No. I had to go through this far more times than I'd like to admit before I understood this fear. This initial hit, let's say, that I knew it was out of fear, was the start of my journey towards truth, trying to understand this thing. Truth hurts when you think you have something to lose. This is how it works. We have the same scenario play out in our lives until we see what it is we need to learn. The more we try to hide from it, the bigger it gets and the more it intrudes into our daily lives. It's not a punishment, which I used to think it was, from God or the universe. It's just a teaching mechanism, pointing us to who we truly are. Our fears are subtle. Remember this, and it may save you and others some pain. For instance, I don't have a fear of speaking in public. If there is a wobble, it's not from the talking, because I can talk. It's from what people may think of me. Again, the fear is not the thing, but what it may reveal about us to others. The idea to be nothing sounds crazy, I know. But when you lose who you think you are, you become more. My biggest fear was to forgive. To finally forgive gave me the biggest release from fear. If you want to know more about that, read my blog called Forgiveness. The people pleaser and the cantankerous person who claims to not care about anyone or what they think of them are both doing the same thing. Both fear losing something. One hangs on so tight and the other never gets even close enough. I recently noticed another fear I had. This is how subtle they are. Someone very special to me has discussed being a billionaire. I would argue that no one should be a billionaire. Who needs that kind of money? Why would anyone want that kind of money? You must be greedy or have a need for power to want to be a billionaire. Now I know my friend is none of these things and could never be any of these things, so what was my resistance to this? As usual, if you listened to these before, I put out the question. I asked, why do I resist this? My answer, again, as always, usually comes pretty quick. I feared what I would become with this kind of money. The fear was of my own worth and authenticity. Once I felt into what it would be like to have this kind of money, I trusted that I'd be okay and use it with love, not fear. So who knows, maybe now I might become a billionaire. And if I do, I'm not telling anyone. As you can see, fear is a subtle thing, slippery, discreet. It can weave its way into any good thing. Fear is invisible at times, so if you play with this and see how many decisions you make out of fear or love, you will start to see a new life unfold in front of you. I still fear many things. Some I know and others I've yet to discover. Imagine what it would feel like to have no fear. None. How freeing does that feel? Yeah, that is dangerous. Thank you for listening. If you made it this far, hopefully that means you liked the music. If you did, please go and check out the horrors and show them some love. And if you want to listen to any more of my material or read any of my blogs, please visit metaphysicalcowboy.com. Thank you.